I'm not going to lie. Normally, this time of year with OTAs, not that excited. But there's a lot to be excited about with Dallas Cowboys OTAs. I'll tell you why in a moment. But first, thanks for checking out today's video. Consider hitting like or subscribe and ring the bell. That way you're always notified when I post a new video. Also, shout out to my sponsor, betonline.ag. Betonline.ag is your online sportsbook experts. And there's a number that's circulating now from betonline.ag that I think is absolutely crazy. I'll address that crazy number in a moment. But let's get back first to why I'm actually excited about OTAs. So the Cowboys right now beginning their first week of voluntary mini camps. And what I'm excited about is everybody that's out there. Number one, it just seems like every year, really for the last 5-6 years, the main storyline at this point in the season is who isn't available for OTAs because of ongoing contract disputes and negotiation. Dak Prescott, DeMarcus Lawrence, Zeke Elliott, Tyron Smith, La'el Collins. Just every single year there seems to be some sort of ongoing contract negotiations that totally take away from all of the discussions on the field. So it's the first year where it's everybody that's supposed to be there is there. And there's no holdouts or people mad about their contracts. All that news is for other organizations, not for the Cowboys this year, which is fantastic. Also, what I'm ecstatic about with OTAs right now is who's on the field from a standpoint of injuries. Dak Prescott is back and looks to be as good as he possibly could be. Damontae, Kazee, who the Cowboys just signed this offseason, is coming off an Achilles injury. And the fact that he's already on the field and showing signs of being back is huge. How about La'el Collins and Tyron Smith? Both in uniform and practicing, guys that missed the majority of the games last season for the Cowboys. Regardless of how much they participated, the fact that these guys were on the field and participating in any capacity shows that these are guys that are going to be ready to hit the ground running when it comes to training camp, which is really, really good news. There's not much to take away from being on the field at OTAs because, it's just the beginning of this road towards getting to September and to the start of the NFL season. But the fact that lots of these guys who suffered injuries last year, and in some cases pretty significant injuries, the fact that they're in uniform, on the field, participating, says a lot about where they are in their rehab. We also learned that Jaylon Smith is switching from number 54 to number 9, which is notable, but not anything beyond that. And look, if it's something that upsets you because it's the number that Tony Romo used to wear, the number that Rodney Peete used to wear, just know that at least he's having to pay about $500,000 in order to change his number. Because in order to change your number, you've got to first buy out all of the jerseys and t-shirts that bear your former number on it. So at least you can have some solace if you're upset that Jaylon Smith took Tony Romo's number and the fact that, at least he has to pay a lot of money to do so. But honestly, who really cares about that? I mentioned earlier that betonline.ag, there's a number out right now that's crazy to me, and that is that Mike McCarthy has the best odds of being the first coach fired in the NFL season. Mike McCarthy at 15-2. The best odds. And not like, Matt Nagy, who probably should have been fired after last season with the Chicago Bears, or Cliff Kingsbury, who still doesn't have a plus 500 season, even though he's had Patrick Mahomes and Kyler Murray as his quarterback. Not even John Gruden, who's traded away a ton of good players and got a ton of draft picks back, only to then turn those draft picks into not so good players. It's crazy to me that Mike McCarthy entering year 2 after coming off a pandemic-stricken season is the one that has the best odds to be the first coach fired. And I'm not saying that it's not without good reason. Certainly it should say to Cowboys fans that if things go south this year, that Mike McCarthy, even though he's just in year 2, is very much on the hot seat, as right or wrong as that should be. But at the end of the day, I think the Cowboys are going to be really good this year. First, because of the philosophical approach they've taken to simplify things on defense. Second, because their offense is going to be really freaking good. And I guess, at the end of the day, if they're not, we want Mike McCarthy to be held accountable and responsible for it, even if it is just year 2. It's still just crazy to me that he's got the best odds, which probably goes to show you that there aren't many coaches that should be fired this season. But as we know, coaches always get fired. I'm Ari Temkin. If you like what you saw, make sure to give it a thumbs up and consider hitting subscribe and ring the bell. That way you're always notified when I post a new video. Shout out again to betonline.ag. Betonline.ag is your online sportsbook experts.